Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. Thank you for those of you that are ready to watch for today. Those of you that watched yesterday, welcome back. Sunshiny day, a little bit of breeze today. Just going to check my volume and so forth. I just got the lineup for the Cougars from Barton, so I'm going to write that in real quick after I check my sound, and then we'll get this thing going. Game to start at noon. Thanks for being here. All right, welcome back, everyone. Let's meet the starting lineups for the second game of the series. Game one was taken 8-5 yesterday by the Cougars of Barton, and we'll have a doubleheader today. Yesterday was a 9-inning game. We'll play 2 sevens today. The first game, the starting lineups first for the Barton Cougars. In left field, leading off, Robbie Bolin. In center field, batting second, Riley Silva. Batting third at second base, Ricardo Sanchez. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, Jaden Wiley. Batting fifth, the right fielder, Aiden Blackowicz. Batting sixth, Dryden Housey, the first baseman. Batting seventh, Jaron Cotton at shortstop. Batting eighth, the third baseman, Henry Heyman. Batting ninth, the catcher, Grant Nodelman. And on the mound for the Cougars today, David Stewart. So it'll be Bolin, Silver, Sanchez, Wiley, Blackowicz, Housey, Cotton, Heyman, Nodelman with Stewart on the mound. The starting lineup for your Blue Devils, leading off at shortstop, Gary Goldbeck. Batting second, the left fielder, Parker McGee. Batting third, the center fielder, Peyton McHarg. Batting cleanup, the designated hitter, Brady Patterson. Batting fifth, the first baseman, Jace Woida. Batting sixth, the catcher, Matt Buffington. Batting seventh, the second baseman, Jackson Mervosh. Playing in right field, batting eighth, Hector Candelas. Batting ninth, the third baseman, Jet Buck, with McLean Finley on the mound. So it'll be Goldbeck, McGee, McHarg, Patterson, Woida, Buffington, Mervosh, Candelas, Buck, with Finley on the mound. Those are your starting lineups for today. We'll finalize this 3-game series with the Cougars of Barton Community College in town. We'll be back with the start of this one in just a few minutes. Thanks for listening. All right, everyone. Welcome back. The guys up here in the press box with me, we were just discussing it's as about as nice a day as we've had for baseball in any game we've had, and I agree with them. Take a look at the flag. The flag is blowing a little bit out toward left field. Thank you. And we're about ready to go here. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining today. Looking forward to two games. The first game yesterday went to the Cougars from Barton Community College 8-5, if I remember correctly. And we've got to come back and do a little work today on the mound. McLean Finley for the Blue Devils. Parker McGee in left, Peyton McHarg in center, Hector Candelas in right field, Jet Buck at third, Gary Goldbeck at short, Jackson Mervosh at second base, and at first Jace Woida. Catcher Matt Buffington behind the plate with McLean Finley on the mound. Bolin, Silva, and Sanchez scheduled up for the Cougars to start things off today. And here we are ready to go. Enjoy the game. Thanks for joining us. Robbie Bolin, the left fielder, will lead things off. Bolin starts the day batting .311. He'll step in to face Finley for the Blue Devils. Fouled back, 0-1 the count. Little bit low. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Strike called, catches the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Both pitchers will like that ball being called a strike right there. A wide outside corner. Little bit low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. As we get started and everybody starts feeling out the strike zone. Stays up high. So 3-2 the count. It's a ground ball at Mervosh. He's up with it and over to Woida for the first out of the game. It's going to bring up Riley Silva. Silva starts the day batting .489. Swinging a miss to that first pitch. Missed a little bit up or out. Buffington looks over at coach and points that it was out. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out to Silva. It's a ground ball at Woida. He'll take that unassisted for the second out of the game. That'll bring up Sanchez. Sanchez starts the day batting .370. He'll step in on the right-handed side to face Finley. Ball 1. Comes the 1-0. deep into right center. That's taken care of by McHarg. So 3 up, 3 down in the top half of the first inning. Your Blue Devils coming up. Stay with us. Thanks for joining us. All right, here we go to the bottom of the first. David Stewart on the mound for the Cougars. Bolin in left, Silva in center, Blackowicz in right, Heyman at third, Cotton at short, Sanchez at second, Housey at first, Nottleman behind the plate, and Stewart on the mound. Leading off for the Blue Devils, Gary Goldbeck. He starts the day batting .481. Strike right through there. Tall righty on the mound. Stewart for the Cougars. Outside 1-1 the count. Ball headed for the deep left field corner. Bolin runs over and takes care of that one for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up Parker McGee. McGee starts the day batting .405. He'll step in with 1 out and nobody on. Swing and a miss. 0-1 the count. Swing and a miss. 0-2. It's up high. 1-2 the count. Looking forward to the speed gun and some velocity equipment that's been added that's not quite finalized yet, that we'll look forward to get some of the information. There's a check swing ruled, a third strike for the strikeout. But we'll be able to get some pitch speed and velocities of the ball coming off the bat and from the pitcher. It's going to bring up McHarg. McHarg starts the day batting .368. Takes a strike called. 0-1 the count. Foul ball. So quickly 0-2 the count. It's up high. 1-2 the count. Swing and the miss for the strikeout. So 3 up, 3 down for the Blue Devils as well. We go to the second inning. Stay with us. All right, here we go to top of the second inning. Wiley, Blackowitz, and Housey scheduled up for the Cougars. Swing and a miss of that first pitch. Wiley starts the day batting an even 400. Breaking pitch catches the inside corner. Both pitchers throwing strikes. Outside, 1-2 the count. Foul ball. Little number out in front of the plate. We'll do the 1-2 again. Ball hit it into left field. Taken care of by Parker McGee for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up Blackowitz. Blackowitz starts the day batting .366. He's the right fielder for the Cougars. Strike right at the belt, right down the middle. 0-1 the count. Strike just catches the outside corner. 0-2 the count. So we'll do the 0-2 again. Got one of the guys up here in the breast box like a normal catcher. Not that he is a catcher. Plenty of room until there's no room. High and inside. 1-2 the count. Ground ball, Voida over to take care of that. Step on the bag. 3 unassisted ground out for the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up Housey, the first baseman. He starts the day batting .296. A little bit high and outside, 1-0 the count. Foul ball backing out of play. 1-1 the count. Swing and a foul tip into the glove of Buffington for the second strike. One and two. Up a little high. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. Who just a little bit low. 3-2 the count. There's a foul ball off the umpire. You know, in a normal day and time till some of the new rules happen, catcher would go out and visit with the pitcher here to let the umpire kind of walk it off. But you can't do that because then it becomes a visit. There's ball 4. That's going to bring up Cotton, the shortstop. Cotton starts the day batting .394. He'll step in with a runner at first base and 2 outs. Breaking ball breaks outside. Foul ball down and out of play. So Housey, the first base runner for either team, with the 2-out walk. Up a little high. 2-1 the count. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runner on. There's a strike called outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the second inning. There's a ground ball headed at the second baseman. Merva, she tosses it over to Goldbeck for the 3rd out of the inning. We go to the bottom half of the second inning. No score. All right, here we go to the bottom half of the second inning. Patterson, Woida, Buffington scheduled up for the Blue Devils. Patterson starts the day batting .366. He'll step in to lead off the bottom half of the second for the Blue Devils. Swing and a miss of that first pitch. Breaking ball makes it down to the belt through the zone for a strike called. 0-2 the count on the designated hitter, Brady Patterson. Strike three called. Breaking ball freezes him right there for the K. It's going to bring up Jace Woida. Woida starts the day batting .333. There's a strike outside part of the plate. 0-1 the count. Foul ball, just about a foot foul of the bag down the left field line. Have three umpires today, so he was right on that as the third base umpire currently. 0-2 the count on Woida. Foul ball off the foot. We'll do the 0-2 again. Strike three called. Fastball right at the knees, right down the middle. That's going to bring up Buffington. Buffington starts the day batting .355. He'll step in with 2 outs and nobody on. Swing and a miss for strike one. Outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bottom of the second inning, no score. Barton Cougars from Barton Community College in town. Check swing ruled. A ball, 2 balls and a strike to the catcher, Matt Buffington. Misses just a little bit low and inside. I think that's the first 3-ball count by the pitcher. Foul ball backing out of play. Stewart has been throwing a bunch of strikes. So now 3-2 the count with that foul back over the top of us. Another foul ball back behind us. Bolin, Silva, Blackowicz left to right across the outfield. Heyman, Cotton, Sanchez, Housey across the infield left to right with Nottleman behind the plate and Stewart on the hill for the Cougars. Just a little bit inside, so both pitchers identical with a 2-out walk in their respective second innings. That's going to bring up Mervosh. Mervosh will step in with a runner at first base and 2 outs. He starts the day batting .387. There's a strike inside corner. Runner at first is Buffington after the 2-out walk. Ball headed into left field, taken care of by the left fielder, Bolin. So at the end of second inning, no runs, no hits, no errors by either team. We go to the top of the third. I'll be back. To the top of the third we go. Finley back for another inning of work. Heyman, Nodelman, and Bolin back to the top of the order, scheduled up for the Cougars. Heyman will lead things off for the Cougars. Heyman starts the day batting .214. There's a ground ball headed up the middle. That's taken by Mervosh. Over to Woida for the 4-3 ground out. It's going to bring up Nodelman. Nodelman catching today. He starts the day batting .261. Fly ball headed down into the corner and just in fair territory, taken care of by the left fielder, McGee. So back to the top of the order. There's a strike right through there. Bolin grounded out to the second baseman his last time up. Bolin is from Topeka, Kansas, went to Washburn Rural High School. 1-1 the count on him. Strike call, just catches the outside corner at the knees. 1-2 the count. Low and outside. McGee, McHarg, Candelas, left to right across the outfield. Buck, Goldbeck, Mervosh, and Woida across the infield. Buffington behind the plate. Finley on the mound. So ground ball headed at Woida. Retreats, gets a good hop, steps on the bag. And we go to the bottom of the third. No runs, no hits, no errors in the top half for the Cougars. We go to the bottom of the third. Stay with us. All right, to the bottom of the third we go. Stewart back for another inning of work. Candelas working his way up to the plate. Candelas, Buck, and back to the top of the order, and Goldbeck scheduled up for the Blue Devils. Candelas starts the day batting .500. So ball headed into left field. So a leadoff first pitch, swinging base hit by Candelas to right field. So Candelas will be at first, and that's going to bring up Jet Buck, the third baseman. Buck will step in with a runner at first base and nobody out. Buck starts the day batting .400. A high fly ball toward right field. Going out is the second baseman. Sanchez will take care of that for the first out. So back to the top of the order, and Goldbeck. Goldbeck is from Kansas City, Kansas. Runner at first, one out. Goldbeck flew out to left field his first time up. Throw over to first base by Stewart. A little bit low and outside. 1-0 the count to Gary Goldbeck. Foul ball backing out of play. Runner at first, Candelas with a leadoff hit. Then a pop out by Buck for the first out of the inning. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. Runner goes and gonna be out. So Candelas thrown out by Nottleman. So now 2-1 the count on Goldbeck. Swing and a miss, so 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Swing and a miss of that high heater, so at the end of 3, the Blue Devils have no runs on 1 hit in the inning. Nobody left on due to the caught stealing. We go to the top of the 4th. No score. Silva, Sanchez, and Wiley scheduled up for the Cougars. It's a drag bunt by Silva. Silva is from Ontario, Canada. He's thrown out by the pitcher. So the 1-3 put out. So that's going to bring up Sanchez. Sanchez is from Mexico City, Mexico. He'll be up there with 1 out and nobody on. Outside 1-0 the count. Sanchez flew out to center field his first time up. There's a strike called inside part of the plate at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Up a little high. 2-1 the count. Overthrew just a bit there, and that usually causes you to throw way low and outside. That's up high. So a 1-out walk issued to the second baseman, Sanchez. That's going to bring up Wiley. Runner at first after the walk. Wiley is from Goddard, Kansas. Takes outside ball 1. He flew out to left field his first time up. We're going to get a visit to the mound. We'll see if there's any changes made. We'll take a short break. We'll be back. All right, visit to the mound over. Coach Golbeck has imparted some information to Finley and hopes to get him back to the strike zone as he was when the game started. Runner over to first, or a throw over to first, back in safely. Breaking ball just catches the inside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. Throw over to first. Nothing going on over there. Foul ball backing out of play, 1-2 the count. Snap throw down to first. Nothing going on down there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ball headed into deep center field. So an RBI double for Wiley. Puts the Cougars out in front. So Wiley with the double. It's going to bring up Blackowitz. Way up high. Blackowitz is from Olathe, Kansas. Went to Olathe South High School. It's a ball headed right up the middle. The umpire gets hit by the cutoff throw. So a base hit just past the diving shortstop Goldbeck. So another RBI for the Cougars. It's going to bring up Housey. Foul ball back to the screen. Follow through of the bat. Gets the catcher, Buffington. Housey is from Okotoks, Alberta, in Canada. All right, we think he's fine to go, so we're ready to go here again. There's a strike inside part of the plate. At the knees, 0-2 the count. Back-to-back base hits after the walk. Those base hits, each scoring runs. Throw over to first, nothing going on over there. Owing to the count. 1 out, 2 runs in for the Cougars. Here in the top of the 4th. It's a ball headed to deep left field, and that's out. So a 2-run home run by Housey. So the umpire's going to go over and give a warning. It's interesting, the choreographed things that you can't do. I remember at Jewel they used to do when the count was 3-2-1, they'd go 3-2-1, and on one everybody would jump and come down and have their cleats hit on the concrete, so it'd be 3-2-1 clack, and the umpires say that is pre-planned and choreographed, and you can't do it. So we're having a little bit of a conversation here as to what can be done and what cannot. So once we get that all taken care of, we can get back to work. Now we'll find out. The umpire's going to go out and tell Buffington that he should not have been able to go out, or it's time to keep moving on. Either way, the Barton Cougars have thrown up a 4 spot so far here with just 1 out. And Cotton is going to be up. A high fly ball over here to the left side. And that's going to get out of play. Cotton is from Leader, Texas. Wondering if that's not a mistake there. It also has the high school was Leander. And I wonder if there is a Leander, Texas, and that's just a misspelling. But either way, he is from Texas. 0-1 the count on him. That's high and outside. Cotton grounded into a fielder's choice to the second baseman, his first time up. Strike. Breaking pitch comes across the inside part of the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Finley in his 4th inning of work in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So a walk, a double, a single, and a home run, and just like that, 4 batters in a row, you go from a scoreless game to being down 4-0. Fly ball out into shallow right field. It's going to be taken care of by Mervosh for the second out of the inning. So that's going to bring up Heyman. Heyman is from Victoria, Australia. He'll step in with 2 outs and nobody on. Stayed up a little bit high, did that pitch. Heyman grounded out to the second baseman, his first time up. Swing and a miss of that high heater. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs to the third baseman, Henry Heyman. Swing and a miss. Not able to catch up to the high heat. So maybe come back with high heat just a little bit higher right here. Swing and a miss. So 4 runs on 3 hits. We go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. The Blue Devils trailing 4-0 to the Barton Community College Cougars. We'll be back. Bottom of the 4th inning action, McGee, Bicarga, and Patterson. There's a strike right through there. McGee is from Liberty, Missouri. Swinging a miss, so 0-2 the count. I've had an update from the guys that I work with up here in the press box say that we're playing a 7 and a 9 today rather than 2 sevens, which I had been told previously. There's a swing and a miss of the breaking ball. So that's going to bring up McHarg. McHarg, the center fielder. McHarg is from Saskatoon, Canada. He'll step in with 1 out and nobody on. Outside, 1-0 the count. Way inside, 2-0 the count. McHarg, the center fielder, he struck out his first time up. Breaking pitch comes right across the inside part of the plate at the knees. 2-1 the count. Stays up high for 3-1. When the count was 2-0, Stewart comes with a breaking pitch, catches the inside. So having the confidence to throw at 2-0, throwing the curveball, that's up high for ball 4. So McHarg works a walk. So a 1-out walk to McHarg, and that's going to bring up Patterson. Patterson is from Auburn, Kansas. He'll step in with a runner at first base and 1 out. Swing and a miss of that first pitch. Oh and 1. Safe back in over at first. Fly ball, and the wind kind of brings that back into the first baseman, Housey. The pitcher, Stewart, puts up both hands. Now we got to find out what we've got here. Must have had catcher interference because that's the only thing that I'm seeing that would, if it was a balk, they would have just moved the first base runner over. So I'm sure, is that what you're getting, is that it has to be catcher interference. So that's going to bring up Wojda. Wojda is from Lincoln, Nebraska, went to St. Pius X High School. He'll step in with runners at first and second. That is the only thing that makes sense because it wouldn't have been a balk. That's outside, or only the runner would have moved to second. So Wojda was called out on strikes his first time up. He's in there with 1 out and runners at first and second. Ball hit to deep left field. That's going to be off the base of the wall. And so an RBI double. The runners had to stay just a little bit to be sure that ball was not going to be caught. So an RBI double by Wojda gets the Blue Devils on the board, making it 4-1. So that's going to bring up Buffington. Buffington will be up there with runners at second and third, still just one out. Buffington is from Andover, Kansas. He'll be up there with one out. Foul ball back over the top of us. He's hoping to just get a fly ball deep enough to score one of these runs. Got to have that mentality of doing what's best for the team, and that's what it would be right here. There's a ball headed into right field. That's going to be caught by the right fielder, but hit so hard he was not able to score from third. So the second out on a line drive, just a rocket hit right at the right fielder, and Blackowicz takes care of that for the second out of the inning. So that's going to bring up Mervosh. Mervosh will step in. He's from Lenexa, Kansas. He'll step in, see if we can get a two-out hit. He flew out to left field his first time up. That pitch stays up high. That's up high. So Patterson at third. Wojda at second. Mervosh at the plate. That's down low, so 3 straight balls to Mervosh. Comes the 3-0. Strike right through there. Took a little off of it. Looked a little bit like the slider. But nonetheless, a 3-0 curveball. You wouldn't expect that. He's pretty comfortable with getting that in the zone. There's a ball headed into left field. Coming over to take care of that is the center fielder. So the Blue Devils get 1 run on 1 hit. We go to the top of the 5th inning, trailing 4-1. We'll be back. Nodelman is from Lincoln, Nebraska as well. He went to St. Pius X as well as Wojda. He flew out to deep left field right over in the corner his first time up. The ball headed out into shallow right field. That's going to be a base hit, and going to second is Nodelman with a double. Just got one far enough that Mervosh could not get to it. So back to the top of the order. Bolin will step in. He's grounded to short, or excuse me, grounded to second and grounded unassisted to Woida at first. A little bit low. So the leadoff double by Nodelman. He's at second. Ball headed down the left field line. All right, guys, we're going to find out what the camera's going to do on our bullpen. Still doesn't go very clear. Going to have to figure that one out. That's up high. 2-1 the count. In the dirt. Out of rhythm a little bit of sorts again. Throwing a little bit, overthrowing just a bit. It's a ground ball at Woida. He'll step on the bag, and the runner goes to third. So 3 unassisted again. So 3 ground outs by Bolin. The runner moves to third base. Does Nodelman. That's going to bring up Silva. Silva has grounded out to first base unassisted and back to the pitcher. Got him punched out here at home, has a wild pitch, and Buffington hustles back. I think that when we get a look at this, what we're going to see is he did tag him, but he was already on the plate when he tagged him. But nonetheless, it's going to be out. I'm not sure, guys, if I got it to where you could see it. Did I? Didn't get my camera to where you could see it. So no, the guys automatically go to my computer up here that's about 40 seconds behind and take a look at it, but I didn't have a camera to where you could see it. Probably had it to where the umpire's booty was right into the camera there, but nonetheless called out. There is a ground ball to Gary Golbeck over to Woida for the out. So a double does not bother in the inning. We go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. The Blue Devils trailing 4-1. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back. All right, here we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Candelas, Buck, and Golbeck scheduled up. Candelas will lead things off here. Candelas is from San Juan, Puerto Rico, and ruled a strike by an attempt there. So 0-1 on Candelas. He had a base hit into right field his first time up. There's a swing and a miss, so quickly 0-2 the count. Stewart back for another inning of work for the Cougars. There's a foul ball, just gets a piece of it to stay alive, does Candelas. Candelas was caught stealing in the third inning after his base hit. High and outside, 1-2. 4 balls on 4 hits and no errors for the Cougars. 1 run on 2 hits and no errors for the Blue Devils. 4-1. So Housey handles that, steps on the bag of the 3 unassisted. That's going to bring up Buck. Buck is from Kansas City, Missouri. Went to Liberty North High School. A little bit low. Bottom dropped out of that to miss the zone. I thought it was going to be a strike. So 1-0 to Jet Buck. There's a strike called. He popped out to the second baseman in shallow right field his first time up. Squares to bunt. It's going to be foul. Button for a hit. So 1-2 the count. Just stayed a little bit up. That's a tough pitch to stay ready for. If that drops another couple of inches, it's a ring up. The fly ball headed into right field. Coming over to take a look at that is Blackowicz, and he squeezes that for the second out of the inning. So back to the top of the order, and Goldbeck. He'll step in with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. The Blue Devils trailing by 3. Goldbeck has flown out to left field and struck out. There's a bunt. And he's going to be safe. So a bunt hit for Goldbeck. Down the third base line. A nice attempt by Heyman, but just a little bit short. Good wheels of Goldbeck getting down there. So that's going to bring up McGee. McGee's going to step in. Got another warning over here to the dugout for Barton. So somebody's doing some chirping over there. McGee's going to step in. He has struck out twice. He's going to step in there with Goldbeck at first base. Goldbeck with the 2-out bunt hit. 1-0 the count on the left fielder, McGee. It's up high. 2-0 the count. Going to have a little powwow by all the infield of the Cougars. They did this one time yesterday. Not sure if there's a certain thing that they're supposed to do or if just a little bit of break, a continuity with a defensive visit to the mound without a coach. So 2-0 the count We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Swing and a miss by Parker McGee, the left fielder. Breaking pitch laced down into the warm-up area of the Blue Devils. Got the bullpen down there as well as a couple of 3 cages and a workout area. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Ball breaks into the dirt, blocked nicely by Nodelman. Three and two the count, 2 outs. Goldbeck will be off with the pitch. High. Pop up on the infield. And that taken care of for the final out of the inning by the shortstop, Cotton. So no runs on 1 hit. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Blue Devils trailing 4-1. To the top of the 6th we go. Will Bartkowski from Seneca, Kansas comes to the mound. Tall righty for the Blue Devils. Sanchez, Wiley, and Blackowicz scheduled up. Not sure where that ball missed. First pitch from the side armor is ruled low, so 1-0 the count. There's a strike right through there. So Bartkowski, a sidearm pitcher, tall right-hander. 1-1 the count on Sanchez. There's a foul ball headed down. Grabbed by Buck, the third baseman, but way in foul territory. Sanchez has been out on a fly ball to center field and reached on a base on balls and scored a run in the 4th. 1 ball and 2 strikes on him. From the reliever, Will Bartkowski outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So McLean Finley goes 5 innings. Go back up with that play over to Woida. So a nice play by Goldbeck to get that ball that was headed up the middle for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up Wiley. Wiley, the designated hitter. He's been out on a fly to left field and had an RBI double in the fourth. He's up there with one out and nobody on. Ball stays inside. Want to know the count to the designated hitter, Wiley. Ground ball just outside the bag. Looked like it was going to go over the top of the bag, but gets just outside of it. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. So back to the plate goes Wiley. It's outside. 2-1 the count now. Blue Devils trailing by 3 here in the top of the 6th inning. First game is a 7-inning scheduled game. It's a little bit low. Three and one the count. Strike called, catches the outside corner. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. High chop to Woida. Woida waves off the pitcher and says, I'll step on the bag and take care of this myself for another 3 unassisted for the second out. That's going to bring up Blackowicz. Blackowicz is grounded to Woida at first and had an RBI base hit his second time up. That was in the 4th inning, the 4-run inning for the Cougars. That ball sails low and inside, so 1-0 the count. There's a strike at the knees, catches the outside corner. 1-1 the count. It's a ground ball taken by Buck. Over to Woida. Woida hangs on to keep his foot there. So 3 up, 3 down here in the top of the 6th for the Barton Cougars. Blue Devils coming up to bat here in the bottom of the 6th, trailing 4-1. Stay with us. I'll be back. Thanks for joining me. All right, Stewart back for his 6th inning of work. McHarg, Patterson, and Woida scheduled up for the Blue Devils. That stays up high. McHarg has struck out and walked so far today. High pop up over here to the left field side. Going to be out of play. So 1-1 the count. One ball, one strike to McHarg as he leads off the bottom of the sixth for the Blue Devils. Squares to bunt. Makes it foul. So 1-2 the count now. Pop up high on the infield. Cotton's going to come in, the shortstop, to take care of that. So a fly F6 for that. That's going to bring up Brady Patterson. Patterson was called out on strikes his first time up, and then he reached base on what we believe to be catcher interference. His second at bat, he'll step in with one out and nobody on. Another high pop up on the infield. That's going to be taken care of by the third baseman, Heyman. That'll bring up Woida. Woida will step in with 2 outs and nobody on. He was called out on strikes and then had an RBI double his last time up. That was in the 4th inning. Has our lone run RBI. There's a strike-breaking pitch right through there. 0-1 the count. Low and outside. 1-1 the count on the first baseman, Jace Woida. Way outside. Tall righty on the mound, David Stewart has gone all the way so far for the Cougars. Just a little bit outside. Nottleman tried to frame that thing back in, but just not quite. So 3-1 the count on Woida. Fouled back and out of play, so the count goes full. 3-2 the count. Back up behind us here, probably going to get out of play and does. So we'll do the 3-2 again. So Woida stays alive with a foul ball. All right, how quick can you tell me how many pitches is this at bat? Is that something you can see quick? 7th pitch coming here. Fouled it away. So we'll do the 3-2 again. Woida at the plate. 2 outs. It's going to be ruled ball 4. Check swing, and he'll head down to first. So Buffington will come up. He's reached on a base on balls, then hit a rocket right at the right fielder. A line drive. He came in just a little and was not able to sack the fly from with the runner from third. That's a strike inside corner at the knees. The right fielder, Blackowicz, came in on that line drive. That's in the dirt, blocked nicely by Nodelman. So 1-1 the count on the catcher, Buffington. There's a ball hit to deep left field. I believe that's going to be out. So Buffington with the 2-run blast to bring the game to 4-3. So Buffington with the home run to left field makes it a 4-3 game. So 4-3. That's going to bring up Jackson Mervosh. Mervosh will step in. He's been out on a fly ball to left field and a fly ball to center field. We're going to get a visit to the mound. We'll take a break, see if there's any changes. We'll be back. All right, no change for the time being. But Brian Bartles from Oklahoma, or from Olathe, Kansas, went to Olathe West High School. He's warming up in the pen for the Cougars. So Mervosh steps in, takes a strike, bottom part of the zone. Bottom kind of dropped out of that, thought it was going to be low, but ruled a strike, 0-1. Swing and a miss. Enticed him with a breaking pitch outside he couldn't reach. 0-2 the count. There's a line drive right at Cotton. Cotton squeezes it. So hit the ball hard, but we get a home run that scores 2 after a base on balls. We go to the top of the 7th. Blue Devils trailing 4-3. Stay with us. We got a good one. All right, here we go to the top of the seventh. Housey, Cotton, and Heyman scheduled up for the Cougars. That ball's a little bit low. Housey's walked and had a 2-run home run in this one. There's a strike called. Two and one the count on the first baseman, Housey. It's inside for ball 3. Certainly don't need a leadoff walk. Make him hit his way on. I know you're thinking, oh, home run. But don't give him a free pass. 3 and 1. Rule just a little bit low for ball 4. It's going to bring up Cotton. Cotton, the third baseman, he hit a fielder's choice to the second baseman and popped out into shallow right field to the second baseman. He'll step in with a runner at first base and nobody out. Leadoff walk to Housey. Low and outside. Cotton squared the bunt, pulled it back, took ball 1, 1-0 the count. Buck in a couple of steps on the grass. Outside again. No square to bunt that time, so we'll see if they come back to that or not. Might have been taken all the way just to get the third baseman to back off a little. 2-0 the count. There's a strike right through there. 2-1 the count. I want to welcome everyone to the broadcast. I enjoy bringing this game to you. 2-1 the count. Squared a bunt, and he's going to be safe. Pulled him off. Have a feeling that's going to be throwing error on the pitcher. So now runners at first and second. Going to have a pinch hitter for Barton. Aiden Hadley is going to hit for Heyman. Hadley, number 41, will pinch hit for Barton. Hadley batting .286 at the start of the day. Pinch hitting for Heyman, who started the day batting .214, so going with a little bit of average here. Going to get a timeout and a visit to the mound, so nobody out. Runners at first and second. Going to probably give just a little bit of time. Let's see what our camera looks down in the bullpen. It hasn't been focusing very well down there. Let's see what it does. Not able to see. See if we can come in a little tighter and see who that is. That wind feels pretty good, even though it's really starting to blow things around in here. So the Blue Devils trailing by 1. We're in the top of the 7th, 7-inning scheduled game. Will Bartkowski from Seneca, Kansas has come in and pitched the 6th and now the 7th. Runners at first and second base. Now we're going to get a visit to the mound. We're going to get a pitching change. We'll get the changes. We'll be back. The chess match here on the baseball field has begun. We'll be back. So the pitching change has been made. Alan Mercado, the right-hander from Barcelona, Puerto Rico, went to the Carlos Beltran Academy over there, comes to the mound with nobody out and runners at first and second to face the pinch hitter, Hadley. Hadley will pinch hit for Heyman. Runners at first and second. Top of the 7th inning action. Cougars clinging to a 1-run lead, trying to get more insurance going into the bottom of the 7th. Remember, this first game is, and guys, you said the first game was a 7, the second one was a 9, correct? So we're 7-inning game here. Hadley steps in for his first at bat of the day. Strike called outside corner at the knees. Hadley with the shake of the head saying, yeah, I believe that was a little low. Steps back in, gonna go to work. The appearance is here that Hadley would be up there to hit something deep, not to bunt. And certainly now with 2 strikes, a swing on that pitch right there. So 0-2, Mercado to Hadley. Buck, Golbeck, Mervosh, and Woida all at regular depth. Strike 3 called on that one. Hadley in tight on the plate. Felt like that was going to be inside, but was not. That's going to bring up Nodelman. Nodelman's been out on a fly deep to the left field corner and had a double down the right field line. Just deep enough that Mervosh was not able to get to it. So ball 1 has just been called. Without a pitch being thrown, there's a swing and a miss. Going to get an offensive visit down here to the coach. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 1 out now after the strikeout with runners at first and second. The Cougars have 4 runs on 4 hits, no errors. The Blue Devils 3 runs on 4 hits and 1 error. So an offensive visit by the coach to the batter. We always talk about trying to speed the game up, but yet it seems to take forever for the umpires to write that down because they don't write it down till after it's done happening, would be one of my complaints. But back to action we go. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Mercado on in relief. There's a ground ball at Woida. Woida's going to go over. So we get the force out. So a 3-6 fielder's choice. We didn't get the double play, but we get the second out. So that's going to be back to the top of the order. And Bolin will be up. Bolin will step in with 2 outs now and runners at the corners. Bolin is grounded out 3 times, once to the second baseman and twice unassisted to Woida at first. There's a ground ball headed at the second baseman. He's up with it and over to Woida for the out. He almost just easily tossed that over, but nonetheless, no runs on no hits, had an error in the inning. We go to the bottom of the 7th. The Blue Devils need 1 to keep this thing going or 2 to finish it off. We'll be back. All right, so the pitching change has been made by the Cougars. On the mound is Brian Bartels from Olathe, Kansas. Went to Olathe West. That ball misses just a bit to Candelas. Foul ball. So 1-1 account on Hector Candelas. He's had a double and a ground out unassisted to Housey at first. Foul ball backing out of play, so 1-2 the count. All right, so guys, I missed out. Fill me in here. Did that ball? It did hit him. I thought it looked high. I was watching him as he slipped down and didn't see the end of that. And that is going to bring in a pinch runner after that. So Lee Allen Jr. will end to run for Candelas. Having a little powwow out the mound, checking that out. Lee Allen Jr. to pinch run at first base for Candelas. So the coach is going to ask for a couple of pitches for his pitcher. It would be interesting to know if he's asking because he may have hurt himself or he wants to throw some to be sure that the footing is okay out there. So he gives him 2 pitches. He's all good with that. So this is going to turn out to be an actual visit to the mound for this coach, where when he fell, he could have gone out just to see if he was okay. So the tying run is on at first base. Jet Buck, I'm wagering on my DraftKings that we're going to get, or FanDuel, excuse me, that we're going to get a bunt here by Jet Buck. The bunt is down to first. So Jet Buck with the sack bunt, 1-3. So to the top of the order, the tying run is now at second base. That's going to bring up Goldbeck. Goldbeck's been out on a fly to left, a strikeout, and a bunt here. Man, a drag bunt right here would just suit things in my book, but we'll see how that shakes down. Fouls that one away, 0-1 the count. Bartell's on in relief for the Cougars. Tying run at second base. There's another foul down the left field line. So Goldbeck has not caught up to those 2 fastballs. Like to see him pull something to the right side here to get him to third and possibly home. Another foul ball over the third base dugout. So the hit by pitch of Candelas. Lee Allen Jr. in to run. Sack bunt by Buck. Goldbeck at the plate. Another foul back to the screen. So I believe that's 4 straight foul balls by Goldbeck on this at bat. Boland, Sylvan, Blackowicz across the outfield. Heyman, Cotton, Sanchez, and Ozzie across the infield. Nottleman behind the plate, and Bartell's now on the mound. Just misses a little bit outside. The faithful of the Cougars are on the umpire big time for that, but I believe it to be a little bit outside. In agreement up here. Another pitch outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out. Tying run at second base. This is a 7-inning scheduled game. So anyone that's just joined us, we're in the 7th, but it is a 7-inning game. There's another foul ball. So 7 pitch at bat so far, I believe, with the 8 pitch coming. Got the statistician on his little iPad here beside me. Just misses a little bit inside. 3-2 the count. That's a tough pitch to take right there. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and an out. Low and inside, ball 4. So Goldbeck fouls off the first 4 pitches from the reliever Bartels, then 2 balls, then takes another ball, and then works the walk. So that's going to bring up McGee. McGee has struck out twice and popped out to the shortstop. Runners at first and second with 1 out. Down the right field line and out of play. So Lee Allen Jr. at second base. Gary Goldbeck at first. Parker McGee at the plate. It's a ground ball off the shortstop and back into second safely. So we'll see if that's ruled a hit. Error, going to be ruled an error on Cotton, the shortstop. E6, and a run scores to tie this thing up. Now with 1 out, the winning run is at second base. So the Blue Devils have battled back in this one. They were down 4-0 early, and they've battled back to tie this thing up. So runners at first and second. And Peyton McHarg to the plate. McHarg has struck out, walked, and popped out to the shortstop as well. Low and outside. Foul ball and out of play down the right field line. Housey down to take a check at that. One and one the count. That's outside. 2-1 the count now. So ground ball hit it at the second baseman. They're going to get the fielder's choice at second base. So the ground ball at the second baseman, we get a 4-6 fielder's choice. So there's now 2 outs, and the winning run is at third base. So we've got runners at the corners. You know, the Barton coach here is going to ask about the slide into second base. I would think it was tough on the come across second base by the shortstop, that the throw pulled him a little bit, that made him not get the actual play out there as well. But nonetheless, nothing's going to change, it doesn't appear. Both teams with 4 runs on 4 hits and an error. And that's going to bring up Brady Patterson, the designated hitter. He's been called out on strike, reached on an interference, and popped out. There's a strike outside corner. He's popped out to the third baseman in foul territory. 0-1 the count on the designated hitter Patterson. Strike 2 called right on the outside corner. So quickly 0-2 the count. Everybody's kind of yelling for a balk here. I believe he stepped off as he should. So 0-2 the count. So now I think Coach was sending him there trying to get a throw down that way to maybe steal the run back this way from the runner on third. So the check swing ruled a ball. One and two the count, the winning run at third base. High pop up on the infield. Shallow left field, carried out more than I thought it was going to. And the third baseman, Heyman, takes care of that. So the Blue Devils get it tied up. We're going into extras here.
Which means the second game will be a 7.
Which means the second game will revert to a 7-inning game. Now, it doesn't turn this one into a 9-inning game. It just makes it that whoever wins this one in extras. So we don't now all of a sudden go 9 innings. It's still whoever would score here in the 8th could win it as well. We'll take a break. We'll be back. Glad you're along with this one. It's a good one. All right, Tyler Janess will now go into right field after Lee Allen Jr. pinch ran for the right fielder Candelas. Silva will be up here in the top of the 8th. Takes ball 1. So Mercado back for another inning of work. I'll get caught up with my inning on the board here as soon as I can. There's a strike right at the top part of the zone. We are now in the 8th inning, the top of the 8th. Again, it does not make this a 9-inning game. It's still extras of the 7-inning game. 2-1 the count. Way outside and all the way back to the screen. So 3-1 the count. Silva has grounded out 3 times. Pitcher, first base, and shortstop. There's outside, ball 4. So Silva with the leadoff walk. That's going to bring up Sanchez. Sanchez has been out on a fly to center field, walked and grounded out to the shortstop. Runner at first base is Silva with the leadoff walk. Mercado with the toss over to first. Nothing going on over there. There's a strike on the outside corner at the knees. 0-1 the count on the second baseman, Sanchez. Throw over to first. Nothing going on over there. Sails just a little bit inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Barton Cougars 4. Kansas City, Kansas Community College Blue Devils 4. Extra innings, top of the 8th. Just a little bit inside. 2-1 the count. It was a scheduled 7-inning game. We are in extras. 2-1 the count on Sanchez. Back in no problem is Riley Silva. He walked to lead the inning off. High fly ball to left field. Fighting the sun was McGee. Lost it for a minute, then was able to adapt and make the play. So a fly out, 4 and out into left field. That's going to bring up that he retouched coming back across. I believe in Major League Baseball the other day, gosh, where was it? Anyway, one of those happened where they appealed and had someone out. So that's going to bring up Wiley. Wiley will step in with 1 out and a runner at first base. Going to throw over to first. Back in safely over there. Wiley's been out on a fly, had an RBI double, and grounded out unassisted to first base. One and oh the count on Jaden Wiley, the designated hitter. Ball hit it over into left field. And that's taken care of by McGee as well. So a base on balls, then 2 flyouts to McGee in left field. That's going to bring up Blackowitz. He's grounded out to first and third and had an RBI single as well. Going to get a visit to the mound by Coach Golbeck. Two outs, runner at first base. Both teams with 4 runs on 4 hits and an error in this one so far. McGee, McHarg, Janess across the outfield, left to right. Buck, Goldbeck, Mervosh, and Wojda across the infield, left to right, with Buffington behind the plate and Mercado on the mound in relief of Finley and Bartkowski. Finley went 5, Bartkowski went 1. Mercado came in to try and finish this thing off. Nothing going on over at first. Runner goes. And going to be off and out. So Silva overslides the base, originally has it stolen, then slides on across the top, and the tag is stayed on. It was a shortstop or second base with the tag. And shortstop Goldbeck with the save tag there and stayed right on him for the third out. So we go to the bottom of the 8th inning with the Blue Devils' chance to win it here. We'll be back. All right, Bartell's back for another inning of work. Wojda, Buffington, and Mervosh scheduled up to face him. The Blue Devils trying to get this one right here. There's a swing and a miss by Wojda. Say he was trying to win it on the first swing of this inning. Now let's change our approach here a little bit. Try and get on base. That's high and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. We're all tied up at 4. Was a regular 7-inning scheduled game, so we're in extras here. That missed just a little bit low. 2-1 the count. What a difference that makes if that pitch right there is called a strike instead of a ball to the batting team. There's a ground ball. That's going to be a base hit into right field for Wojda. So Wojda with the hit. We're going to get a pinch runner for the Blue Devils. Pablo Sanchez from Sidra, Puerto Rico is going to pinch run for Wojda. Wojda with the base hit. And Pablo Sanchez will come in to run. With the winning run now at first base. It's going to bring up to Buffington. Buffington has walked, hit a line drive out, and then a 2-run home run. Misses just a little bit inside. So Pablo Sanchez at first. Buffington with the foul ball over in front of the dugout of the Blue Devils. One and one the count. There's a ball headed into right field. It's going to be a long single, going to hold him at third. So now the winning run is at third base. Buffington with a base hit to right field, and that's going to bring up Mervosh. Mervosh will step in with a chance to walk this thing off. He's been out on a fly to left, a fly to center, and a line drive right at the third baseman. So the Cougars have their infield brought in at the grass. The outfield has to move in at what they think they can throw somebody out on a fly ball. There's a swing and a miss of that high heater of the first pitch. So it seems to me the outfielders are needing to be a little more shallow than what they are. Runner moves to second. There was called a strike. So the umpires now make the switch with runners at second and third. So 0-2 the count. Mervosh at the plate. Foul ball backing out of play. So Mervosh needs to get something to the outfield grass. 0-2 the count. Strike three called. Lower limit, but on the outside corner. So we're going to have a pinch hitter for the Blue Devils. Actually, not a pinch hitter. He came into the game and will bat his first time. Will be Tyler Janess. Janess will step in with one out and the winning run at third base. Janess will be up there left-handed. Janess started the day batting .273. He'll step in. Runners at second and third and one out. Low and inside, ball one. So Janess came in to play right field after Candelas got a base hit and Lee Allen Jr. ran for him. Janess goes to right field, and now he comes to bat. There's a foul ball back into the net. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 run needed to win this thing. High and outside, so 2-1 the count. Two balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Winning run at third base. Foul ball. Swing and a miss for the strikeout. So back-to-back hits, a couple of strikeouts, and that's going to bring up Jet Buck. Buck will step in with the winning run still at third. Buck has been out in the air twice and had a sac bunt. He's up there with 2 outs. Squares to bunt, and it's in the air and dropped foul. Sorry about my camera work, but I don't have a camera that gets that exact spot right there. So Buck is going to bunt for a hit. It's in the air. The ball gets in the sun for Heyman, and an easy play if the sun's not there, but it was. So 0-1 the count now on Jet Buck. The high pop up on the infield. Going to get out into the outfield, and The second baseman catches that going toward the outfield. So a great effort by Sanchez at second base to make that catch. So the Blue Devils with an excellent opportunity, but Bartels is able to get a couple strikeouts and a pop out. We go to the top of the ninth inning. We're still tied up. Stay with us. All right, after the pinch run for Voita at first by Sanchez, Mark Elliott goes in to play first base. Blackowitz, Housey, and Cotton scheduled up. There's a ground ball at the second baseman, Mervosh. Mervosh over to Elliott for the 4-3 ground out. That's going to bring up Housey. Housey's walked, had a 2-run home run, and walked. He'll be up there with 1 out and nobody on. Way outside, ball 1, 1-0 the count. Top of the ninth inning. There's a strike outside corner at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 1 run needed by one of these two teams. Swing, check swing, and ruled a swing by the home plate umpire. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and an out. Mercado on in relief of Bartkowski, who came in and threw 1 inning. That's high and inside. Behind on my paperwork, it is the 9th inning. Just misses, so 3-2 the count. 9th inning of game 2. Game 1 yesterday was won by the Cougars of Barton 8-5. Swing and a miss for the strikeout. So a ground out and a strikeout, 2 down. That's going to bring up Cotton, Jaron Cotton. He grounded into a fielder's choice to the second baseman, popped out to the second baseman, and reached on an error. And he's hit by a pitch. It's going to bring up Hunter Sire. There's a throw over to maybe pronounced Sear. That's not one that I got to check on. So A came in to play defense, and that's going to be his first at bat. That's up high. 1-0 the count. Hunter is from Mulvane, Kansas. Way outside. 2-0 the count. It's a ground ball out front, going to be a tough play, and it's going to be a base hit by Sear, Hunter Sear, with the base hit. Little chopper out toward the third baseman. Couldn't make a play on it, so now runners at first and second base. To the catcher, Grant Nottleman. Nottleman's been out on a fly, had a double down the right field line, and hit into a fielder's choice to the first baseman. Foul ball down the left field line. That's going to be out of play. Oh, and 1 the count. The Cougars and the Blue Devils locked up in a good one here. It was a 7-inning scheduled game. We are now in the top of the 9th, all tied up at 4. Outside. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Buck, Goldbeck, Mervosh, and Elliott across the infield. McGee, McHarg, and Janess across the outfield. The high pop up on the shallow left field. Trying to take care of that. Fighting the sun is Jet Buck, and he does. So we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Blue Devils need 1 to end it. We'll take a break. We'll be back. Stay with us. New pitcher for the Cougars, Hunter Jones from Topeka, Kansas. He went to Washburn Rural. He will come in here to face the Blue Devils in the bottom of the 9th. This thing's all knotted up at 4. Barton with 4 runs on 5 hits and an error, and the Blue Devils 4 runs on 6 hits and an error. We're back to the top of the order. Goldbeck, McGee, and McHarg scheduled up for the Blue Devils. Blue Devils need 1 to walk this thing off. We had 1 game yesterday, was a 9-inning game won by the Cougars 8-5. We've got this extra inning, 7-inning game, and then we'll follow it up with a 7-inning game. So Goldbeck steps in. He's had a bunt hit, a base on balls, a fly out, and a strikeout. There's a strike inside part of the plate at the knees. 0-1 the count on Gehrig Goldbeck. It's high and outside, so 1-1 the count. There's a line drive right back up the middle for a base hit. So Goldbeck with the lead-off base hit right back up through the box. Almost got the pitcher on the leg, so that's going to bring up McGee. He struck out twice, popped out to the shortstop, and reached on an error on a hard hit ball up the middle, but it should have been handled. So the winning run is at first base. Is a little nubber going to fall foul? Did I just say a little nubber that fell foul? Is that what that was? Was that a little nubber? Can't get either of the guys to go with me on that one. 0-1 the count regardless. Blue Devils have the winning run at first base in Gehrig Goldbeck. There's a bunt going to be foul. Tried to bunt down the first base line, did McGee, but couldn't get it fair. So now 0-2 the count. I reiterate that at first base is Gehrig Goldbeck. Believe he's named after Lou Gehrig, which you might expect with the dad being the baseball coach here. 0-2 the count. There's a ball hit up the middle. Going to be right at the center fielder, Silva. So a fly out to center field to Silva does McGee. Got the runner still at first base in Goldbeck. That's going to bring up McHarg. He has struck out, walked, popped out to the shortstop, and was hit into a fielder's choice. Strike on the outside corner. Just wonder if Coach might get Gehrig running over there at first, try and get that run at first base, but he also doesn't want to make that second out down there. Foul ball backing out of play, so 0-2 the count on the center fielder, Peyton McHarg. Going to be a pop-up that's going to be right here behind and just inside. The catcher saying, hey, guys, you got to help me out. People are yelling, but nobody's pointing. They need to point and help him out. That ball falls just inside the netting. That would have been a tough play because it was coming down right against it. So 0-2 again to McHarg. Swing and a miss for the strikeout. So the second out of the inning. So if the Blue Devils are going to get it done this inning, it's going to have to be with 2 outs. That's going to bring up Brady Patterson. Patterson was called out on strikes, reached on catcher interference, and popped out to the third baseman 2 times, once in foul territory, once in fair. Breaking ball catches the outside corner. 0-1 the count. Another breaking pitch, swings through it. A little bit out in front of it, so 0-2 the count on Brady Patterson, the designated hitter. Runner goes and is safe. So now at second base is Goldbeck. 1-2 the count. I know what a lot of the fans for KCK are thinking. Patterson leads the team with 7 home runs. You just can't go up there planning to hit a home run. It just doesn't work that way. Just wants to square something up and hit it hard, and if it goes out, that's fine. Comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss of that breaking ball. So we get a leadoff hit, then a fly out, a strikeout, and a strikeout. We go to the top of the 10th inning. We're all knotted up at 4. Stay with us. We got a good one. All right, to the top of the 10th inning we go. Need to do a little book work here. The 10th inning. Remember, it was a 7-inning scheduled game, and here we are. First pitch is low and outside, ball 1. So Boland's grounded out 3 times. He's made out 4 times, but I missed what one of them was. There's 2-0 the count. Mercado back for another inning of work. In tight at third is Jet Buck. Guarding against that bunt. There's a foul ball into the net. How quickly can you tell me the last time Boland batted what he did? Can you? What was the 4th one? Who to? No worries. There's a strike on the outside corner.
They've all been the first baseman.
I think one of them was to the second baseman, but that's okay. That means that one was 3 to the first baseman. There's a foul back to the screen. So we'll do the 2-2 again. We're all tied up at 4 here. Robbie Boland, the left fielder, at the plate. It's high and outside. McGee, McCarg, Janess across the outfield. Buck, Goldbeck, Mervosh, and Elliott across the infield. Buffington behind the plate. Mercado on the mound. Here in the top of the 10th. There's a ball headed into center field and deep. That's going to be over McCarg, and that's going to be a stand-up double for Boland. So now a runner at second base with nobody out. And that's going to bring up Riley Silva. Silva has grounded out 3 times. once to first base, once to the pitcher, once to shortstop. And then he walked in the 8th but was caught stealing. So we'll see if Silva is swinging or bunting. Runner at second base, nobody out for the Cougars. Squares to bunt. The bunt is down. Third baseman Buck takes it. And down to I hit to go to this camera that you're seeing right now, but it didn't go to it. I didn't hit it well. So a sac bunt by Silva. Taken by Buck down to first. So the runner is now at third base for the go-ahead run, and that's going to bring up Ricardo Sanchez. Going to put him on intentional base on balls. So it makes you wonder if they're going to do the same with Wiley. So runners now at first and third with one out. So not going to load them up, but they are going to have the possibility of the double play. So that's going to bring up Wiley. Wiley's been out on a fly twice, grounded out once, and had an RBI double. So the chess match here is that we can get a hard hit ground ball up the middle for the double play. There's a swing and a miss. So 0-1 the count. 4 runs on 6 hits for Barton. 4 runs on 7 hits for the Blue Devils, each team with 1 error. There's a high chopper that's going to be foul, so 0-2 the count on Jaden Wiley, the designated hitter. Mercado on the mound. It's up high. 1-2 the count. I like that pitch there. It was close enough to get some attention, but yet it was high enough in the zone, out of the zone actually, to not be something that they could barrel. So 1-2 the count. There's another foul ball, so we'll do the 1-2 again. Jaden Wiley at the plate, right-handed batting designated hitter for the Cougars. 1 ball, 2 strikes, runners at the corners, 1 out. We're in extras here. Runner goes. There's a ball too deep left field. And that's going to be a 3-run home run by Wiley. So Wiley with the 3-run home run. Putting Barton up by 3. Makes it 7-4. That's going to bring up Aiden Bartkowski. Blackowitz. The B was the only thing I had right in that one. 1-0 the count to him. There's a ball headed down the left field line. That's going to be fair. And a base hit for Blackowitz. It's going to bring up Housey. Housey has walked twice, had a 2-run home run and a strikeout. Runner at first base is Blackowitz. in the dirt, nicely blocked by Buffington. Three-run home run here in the inning for the Cougars. Going to be safe at second, so a stolen base by Blackowitz. Runner at second base now with one out. High and outside. Three and oh the count. Strike called outside corner at the knees. 3-1 the count on the first baseman, Housey. High fly ball into center field. Coming on to take care of that is McHarg. Runner stays at second. So 2 outs now. That's going to bring up Cotton. Cotton will step in with a runner at second base. And 2 outs now. Cotton has grounded out, popped out, reached on an error, and been hit by a pitch. And he's been hit by a pitch again. That's going to bring up Hunter Sear. He'll step in with runners at first and second base with 2 outs. Inside, 1-0 the count. Inside, almost hitting. 2-0 the count. Wiley with the 3-run home run. Double then an intentional walk, and the 3-run home run is the difference in the game here in extra innings. There's a strike on the inside corner. 2-1 the count. High heater gets past him. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners at first and third for the Cougars. 3-run lead after that homer. There's a swing and a miss. So we go to the bottom half of the 10th inning. Blue Devils need 3 to keep this thing going or 4 to win it. I'll be back. All right. Mark Elliott to the plate. One ball, one strike. There's a strike called. One ball, two strikes. So foul to stay alive, does Elliott there. Pablo Sanchez came in to pinch run for Woida, and then Elliott goes to first base. He's now up to bat here with 1-2 the count as he leads off. That's 2-2 to the outside corner, way outside. Blue Devils need 3 to keep this thing going. Foul ball over the top of the dugout. We'll do the 2-2 again. Nobody out. It's a base hit into left field. Going to return hard. Watch the throw. So a base hit for Elliott. So that's going to bring up Buffington. Buffington has walked, hit a line drive to right field, had a 2-run home run and a base hit to right field. He'll step in with a runner at first base, nobody out. Blue Devils needing 3. Way outside, ball 1. Strike called. One and one the count. In the dirt, blocked nicely by Nottleman. It's outside. 3-1 the count. Bit of a 3-0 and 3-1 expanded strike zone, in my opinion, there. That was a little up, but nonetheless called a strike, so 3-2 the count. Swing and a miss for the strikeout. So 1 out, Blue Devils down to their last 2 outs here, trailing by 3. We're in the bottom of the 11th inning. Excuse me, that would be the 10th. Jackson Mervosh steps in. Will be up there with 1 out and 1 on. There's a strike outside corner right through there. Mervosh has been out on a couple of flyouts, a line drive to the third baseman, and been called out on strikes. There's a foul ball, late swinging line drive over the top of the first base dugout. So quickly 0-2 the count on him. Foul ball down the right field line. We'll do the 0-2 again. Hunter Jones on in relief of Bartels and Stewart. Stewart went a strong 6 innings. Jones in his second inning of work. Ball stays inside, 1-2. Strike 3 called. He knew it and called out on strikes. So the Blue Devils with a pinch hitter here, Levi Martin. In 5 at-bats, he's batting .800. So Levi Martin will pinch hit. Two outs now. Blue Devils down to their last out. So somebody just snuck in behind me with some food. I don't know if she knew we were going 10 innings in this first game or not. There's a strike called on the outside corner. So Martin with a pinch hit appearance here. 0-1 the count. Swing and a miss of that pitch, so 0-2 the count. I think they all just heard that kiss. 0-2 the count, 2 outs. Blue Devils down to their last out. They trail by 3 after that 3-run home run in the top of the 10th. There's a foul ball down the right field line and out of play. So 0-2 the count on Martin. Hunter Jones on the mound for the Cougars. Runner goes. There's a foul ball. We'll do the 0-2 again. Comes the stretch and the 0-2. And a swing and a miss. Tag, and that's the end of this one. So a strikeout to end this one. Do a little paperwork here and get the final note up. So the 3-run home run is the undoing in this second game. We were tied at 4. End up losing 7-4. The final of this one, we'll have about a 20-minute break, and we'll come back with another 7-inning game. We'll see you back in a bit.